This past season for Mecole Hardman has been pretty wild, but things could get a little bit more wilder in this upcoming year. Hardman was drafted in the second round of 2019 by the Kansas City Chiefs. He showed flashes at times and was actually looking like he could possibly be the guy to replace Tyreek Hill, but things just didn't go as planned for Hardman, and he would get injured through the 2022-2023 season, causing him to miss the second half of the year. And after the Kansas City Chiefs would win the Super Bowl in 2023, they would allow Hardman to become a free agent, and he would sign a one-year $4 million contract with the New York Jets. And the New York Jets already had a ton of receivers, but even with Hardman coming off a groin injury in the summer, he was looked at as a possible speed weapon for the Jets offense, expected to be Braxton Berrios but better. Hardman even had a memorable moment on Hard Knocks with the Jets.
You've got a crystal ball in your hand. You see the future. Tell us, who do you see the Jets playing in this year's Super Bowl? Say it.
49ers.
49ers, and I'm putting you on the spot here. We're gonna win. We know we're gonna win. What's the final score gonna be?
31-21.
Yeah? Because when all the pieces come together in a season, it can be absolute perfection, folks. Because that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking the Jets and the 49ers, 31-21.
That's crazy.
The Jets season obviously didn't go like everyone thought when Aaron Rodgers would miss the rest of the season after tearing his Achilles on the first drive. Since that moment, the Jets would not be the same. They were forced to play Zach Wilson, who did not play well in almost every game he played in. The Jets were one of the worst offenses in the league, just averaging 171 yards per game. In the first 5 games Hardman played in, he would only have 28 offensive snaps with 1 reception. Hardman never came out publicly saying he was upset about his lack of snaps, but he did make a comment on ESPN saying, "I just want to play and be on the field. Whether it's here or somewhere else, I don't make that call." With it being obvious Hardman was not going to be a part of the offense, the Jets announced they'd be looking into a possible trade for Mecole Hardman. And during this time, the Chiefs were struggling with their offensive core. Their leading receiver in receptions and yards was rookie Rashid Rice, and veteran wide receiver Marquez Valdes-Scantling. Kadarius Toney and Sky Moore just weren't producing for the Chiefs, and at the time, the three combined for 35 catches, 353 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So the Jets would trade Hardman to the Chiefs for a 6th-round pick, and things really wouldn't pick up much for Hardman's stats and playing-wise, but he would have 3 receptions for 57 yards, and the game-winning touchdown in the Super Bowl. After winning a Super Bowl, imagine being Mecole Hardman, winning a Super Bowl, then going to sign with one of the worst offensive teams in the league, just for them to trade you back to an eventual Super Bowl champion. That's got to be one of the luckiest things of all time. And with this crazy turn of events for Hardman, he was asked about his experience with the Jets compared to the Chiefs. And this is where things started to get really confusing for Hardman's future. On the Pivot podcast, Hardman had this to say about the Jets' experience.
What went wrong with the Jets? I was surprised. When you went back, I was surprised.
Right.
Because I'm like, we saw you ball out. We saw you go to Super Bowls, you know what I'm saying? And then you go to the Jets, and then they trade you. What went wrong there?
I just feel like we were on the same page. Like, and I ain't trying to bash nobody like that, but it's like, y'all treat certain guys that shouldn't be treated like they should be treated. And it's like, I don't understand where y'all feel like that I don't compare or I can't compete with any of these guys that y'all playing in front of me. And I just feel like it's not an established coaching staff there as well. Like, you just got a new coaching staff that came in. It's no standard there. It's like everybody do what they want to do, and it's like, all right, we've just figured it out. It's Aaron's show. Let Aaron do what Aaron do, you know what I mean? But then when Aaron go down, it's like, but this is that same coaching staff that just was out of a job the previous year that averaged get a new job. Yeah. So I just feel like it follows or see what's going on. Telling me certain things like, I meet with you and you like, yeah, I'm gonna get you some plays. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you get involved in the game plan, but I play 2 plays. That's not, you can't tell me that. I'd rather you tell me, I feel like these guys better than you and we'll figure you out later. I bet, I can take that. I'm a grown-ass man. I understand that. But when you keep telling me and feeding me lies and saying certain stuff, then that's what don't sit right with me, because like, I know for a fact I'm better than him for sure. Like, I ain't trying to, you know, where I know I'm better than him, better than him too. Garrett Wilson, the only person y'all should just be like, hey.
I mean, obviously there's some validity to what Hardman's saying, because earlier this year a report came out about the New York Jets, and it echoed the same sentiments as what Hardman said. Numerous people in and around the Jets organization were asked about the Jets season, and the consensus was that the offense was being run by Rodgers after he went down, and there was no idea on what they were gonna do. And once this clip was released about Mecole Hardman trashing the Jets, multiple players from the Jets went onto Twitter to respond to Hardman Hardman's comments. Jets punter Thomas Morstead tweeted out, "Be careful getting information from a disgruntled former employee. Getting beat up by a rookie free agent after being guaranteed millions of dollars is tough to deal with. Entitlement is a killer of an opportunity. You have to earn it every year." But tweets by Sauce Gardner and a tight end on the Jets would cause some people to raise eyebrows about Mecole Hardman. Sauce Gardner would tweet, "We ain't gonna talk about how our offensive game plan got leaked versus the Eagles though?" And a Jets tight end would respond to a tweet saying that Hardman's interviews comments by saying, "He's tripping out. He ain't about to talk about his own work ethic and how the Georgia Eagles got our game plan." They accused Hardman, who is a Georgia alum, of sharing their game plan with the Eagles, who have plenty of Georgia players on it before their Week 6 matchup, which obviously the Jets won, but these allegations by Gardner and the Jets players are very serious and could be extremely detrimental to Hardman's career. And ESPN's Stephen A. Smith explains how Hardman needs to speak up about the allegations, and he may want to look into legal action if it's not true.
If there is a hole in their art, first of all, you got to speak on that immediately, like I said. That's grounds for a lawsuit. Seriously, if they are false, because that's a career ender, y'all. That's a career ender. What locker room could he possibly go in if somebody believes it's true?
Hardman will release a statement saying, "These were false accusations made about my character. Set the record straight. I have never and would never leak game plans to another team. I have never been the person to give an opponent an upper hand, and I want to win no matter the circumstance." The NFL at this time has not commented if they're going to plan on investigating this matter, but the NFL may be forced to look into this because Mecole Hardman also said this on the Pivot podcast.
Like, I'm telling you right now, I was so checked out. Like, it's over. I already talked to Veach and Pat. Like, hey, bro, come get me, bro. Like, what are y'all doing?
Hardman would seemingly be admitting that he talked to Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs GM about being traded, which is illegal to do and considered tampering. Hardman tried to clear up these comments on Twitter saying, "Never had talked with the KC before the trade." But Jets GM Joe Douglas had this to say at the scouting combine about the comments made by Mecole Hardman.
I'll just say those are comments that definitely resonated with us.
If the Jets pursue legal tampering charges, the NFL will have to look at the situation and investigate the claims. If found guilty, the NFL could dock draft picks and fine the Chiefs for any wrongdoing discovered. With Hardman making very little impact for the most part on the Jets and the Chiefs, these comments and sanctions on the Chiefs would receive may leave Hardman, who is set to be an unrestricted free agent, without a job. And as the Chiefs may want to get away from him because of the possible sanctions, and other teams may not be able to fully trust him, forcing him to have to prove his worth and fight to get back in the league.